Now we have part two of our conversation involving RayGun.
Yeah.
RayGun, we talked about RayGun a while back, who flamed out at the Olympics. The Paris Olympics had breakdancing, and
Fantastic.
RayGun was the subject of many memes because of her performance as a breakdancer at the Olympics. But now she's come back with a vengeance because she's been ranked number one ranked breakdancer in the world.
Damn.
And and so in spite of the fact that her performance at the Olympics was, dreadful, she nevertheless has been ranked the number one breakdancer in the world. So this is an article from SB Nation. It says RayGun goes from Olympics meme to number one ranked breakdancer in the world. Australian B-girl Rachel Gunn, better known as RayGun, went viral during the 2024 Paris Olympics for her unique dance moves while simultaneously mystifying the entire world as to how she made it all the way to the games. Now there's a new twist to her story. On Thursday, the governing body of international breakdancing, the World Dance Sport Federation, made the stunning announcement that RayGun was the number one ranked women's breaker in the world. This rank was earned despite the fact that none of the women who medaled in breaking during the Paris Games made the top 10 of the rankings. The curious ranking comes as part of the WDSF system. It works off a point system spanning the last 12 months, in which the four best results make up the score. So, with RayGun winning the 2023 Oceania Championship, she earned a massive 1,000 points towards her world rank. It gets even more bizarre, though. Not only did this one result massively tilt the world rankings, but WDSF said that neither Olympic qualifying events nor the actual Paris Games counted toward the world rankings, saying it was organized this way to ensure there was no distraction for breakers. In alignment with the Olympic qualification system, ranking events were intentionally not held between December 31st, 2023 and the Olympic Games Paris 2024. This strategic scheduling allowed athletes to focus solely on the last part of their Olympic qualification without the added pressure of additional ranking events. On paper, this might sound fine, but when you think a little harder, it's exceptionally weird. Essentially, WDSF is saying that athletes could have been so preoccupied with international breakdancing rankings that it might throw off their preparation for the Olympic Games. There is quite literally no reason not to include Olympic results towards the standings. None of this is RayGun's fault. Recently, she's come under fire in the wake of the last place Olympic finish. The Australian dancer was the subject of claims she was unfairly selected to represent Australia, while others were happy to just make her a meme. However, the head breakdancing judge at the Paris Games remains resolute in defending RayGun. It's all about originality, and it's all about bringing something new to the table and representing your country or region. While the ranking is stunning, RayGun earned it fair and square under the very bizarre rules behind the world rank. All hail our dance queen. So this has got to have some people who are on the anti-RayGun train eating a little bit of crow. That despite what happened at the Olympics, she's the number one breakdancer in the world. that's, that's hilarious. But what do you make of RayGun being ranked number one in the world? Uh, Number one in the world, the whole of the world. This chick who was doing crab dances at the Olympics is number one ranked in the world as a breaker. What do you make of that?
Well, this is what I think. I think I think the WDSF. I think they're trying to make a name for themselves, and they're using they're using our girl here as the bait. I think. Listen, man. If you really want to tick some people off, if you really want to get in circulation, because this is everywhere, bro. New York Post, all right, USA Today. I mean, this is I don't know if it's on ESPN yet, but this thing is sweeping across headlines, and the people at the WDSF, SF, they're loving it in their PR room now. They said, "Hey, wait a second. How can we make RayGun ranked #1?" And so, so they use this Oceania, okay, athletics thing. And I said, "What is that?" So I had to Google that. So I go to the page, bruh. I mean, I'm just seeing the people that's competing in this. So it looks like a local Australian thing. And I'm seeing the people that's competing in this thing just in regular sports. And it just looks like, not it. So it's not like she was beating top tier competition. Let's be honest. How does she win if she was dealing with top tier competition? So she won this participation award at this place, and they're justifying that for being, giving her 1,000 points. You know what I'm saying? Which is completely bogus. And that's why they said that, all hail our dance queen or whatever, because, it's a joke. They're not serious about this. So, but this will, because I saw it. And when we covered it the first time, I was like, I don't know how the real B-boys and B-girls feels about this, but because I was getting a good laugh out of it. But I saw the videos out there of real people that are real breakers that are in the community, and they didn't like it. They felt like she really gave them a bad name, as a community. And I guess they felt like it was some, Milli Vanilli action going on, sullying the name of what they really do for a living. So the real people in the community, they didn't like it for the most part, at least from what I gathered. And this is just going to drive them even further up the wall. But much like in the Kendrick Lamar situation, how do you not use this woman to make yourself more money? So if you're in the breakdancing industry and you're selling this thing called WDSF, and nobody even heard of you before, make RayGun rank #1 in the world. Everybody's going to come flooding to your website, flooding to whatever y'all got going on. Even the real B-boys and B-girls that never even heard of these people are going to be flooding in. How do I get ranked better than these people? They probably made a name for themselves with this little brouhaha. How long will their little 5 minutes of fame last? As long as they try to make it stretch out. But I think this is all publicity for whoever these people are, because there's no way on God's green that this young lady here should be ranked #1 in anything. So to me, this is all hilarious and publicity. But what are your thoughts on Miss RayGun ranking #1 in the world when it comes to that breakdance?
It better be for publicity, because if they're for real, this is a joke. This is an absolute joke.
They're a joke.
Where is this here? Let me read this one more time. In alignment with the Olympic qualification system, ranking events were intentionally not held between December 31st, 2023 and the Olympic Games Paris 2024. This strategic scheduling, let me say, I repeat, this strategic scheduling allowed athletes to focus solely on the last part of their Olympic qualification without the added pressure of additional ranking events. So, in other words, we want to coddle these people so much that we are going to eliminate pressurized points of time from the period in which they would be ranked, so that they can just have the peace of mind to focus on the Olympics and not focus on their rankings. That to me is bogus. What high level performer can't take on the pressure of Olympic competition in order to be able to perform adequately during that time and have that factor into their world ranking? Like, to me, if you can't handle performing during a time when the evaluation of that performance is going to factor into your world ranking, you shouldn't be a high level performer in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to handle that. Now, obviously, RayGun herself didn't call into these people and be like, hey, let's make it to where the period of the Olympics and the qualifying rounds don't count towards the ranking. But she's nevertheless a beneficiary of it. And I holler bogus because in the spirit of competition alone, a high level performer should be able to perform, despite the fact that during this period of time, said performance is going to factor into their world ranking.
Correct.
But this to me is a complete and utter joke because it is no different than the rest of the world lowering its standards for everything nowadays. Across the board, standards are low. Let's coddle these people and make it to where they can focus just on their Olympic performance without having it factor into their world ranking. Why? Why do we feel the need to continue to coddle humans nowadays? This is ridiculous. Like expectations for job performance have dropped precipitously over the course of the last couple of generations to the point where I come into a situation having low expectations for people's performance.
Yeah.
I expect for people to not get back to me. I expect for people to not follow up. I expect for people to not be professional. I expect for me to have to follow up 2 or 3 times on an email before I get a response.
Lord
I
have
have an expectation that someone is not going to text me back for 3 or 4 days. And now I got to follow you up on something you're supposed to be doing. What is this thing that we got going on with humans where we just have such low expectations for performance? And then we further back that up by acquiescing to it. People are so lazy and unprofessional and trash at their jobs nowadays. It's sickening.
Yeah.
And the thing with RayGun is I'm not blaming her. She's merely a beneficiary of this ridiculous, bogus lowering of expectations for performance. There's no way on God's green earth that if this was being that if this were to be taken seriously, she should be ranked number 1 in the world as a breaker. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
But if you eliminate the Olympics, suddenly it becomes more sensible because you decided to remove that to make it easier for her to focus on just her performance. That is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But it is very much in line to me with new human behavior of let's just lower expectations for performance. We don't need people to be professional. We don't need people to be able to take on the pressure. We don't need people to be able to do their job and perform it to the best of their ability in highly pressurized scenarios. Let's just eliminate this and coddle and placate people as best we can, just creating a world society of softness. That's what this is to me. That's what this is to me. And to your point, let's make money in the process by using her as the poster child for world breakdancing notoriety.
Yep.
This is an atrocity as far as I'm concerned. This is a joke. This is more of an atrocity to me than Beyonce being snubbed for a country music award. Like people want to complain about Beyonce getting overlooked. This is more of an atrocity for that because for better or for worse, one can argue that Beyonce put her best foot forward with whatever that is she's calling that music. Whereas this performance was laughable, to say the least. And the fact that it is being coddled in this way, just pandered towards by creating these lackadaisical, laissez-faire, loose standards for performance is a sad state of affairs when you juxtapose it to how we have basically just rendered high expectations for performance for people in general utterly useless.
Yeah, man, well said, bro. And the more I think about this woman, the more of her whole performance, man, like, were there not tryouts, you know what I'm saying, at least for the Olympics itself?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about this that's so weird. There were Olympic trials for this.
And my thing is that's what I'm saying. Like, I call collusion on the Olympics itself then, because they had to have something to do with this. In the sense that, hey, look, we're not putting this person on the stage. There's no way, because she was doing that whatever the hell in the trials as well.
Yeah.
So either I just really knew that. I mean, if I was sitting there like Simon Cowell or whatever that guy name was on American Idol, and I'm sitting here judging these dancers, and I saw her do whatever the hell she does. After laughing my ass off, I would have turned around with the boys and said, "Hey, this, if we actually get her out there, this will actually be publicity for our new event." So, in some way, whether intentional or not, this woman is being used for whatever reason. I think initially by the Olympics, because there's no way. I mean, objectively watching that, there's no way that that person should have made it. She shouldn't have made it, but she did, and she competed. And now they want to sit there and come up with this weird formula to why she's ranked number one. Oh, yeah, we're not going to consider the Olympics where she got rated 0 points, because that would actually, not make her number one. So, fluffing numbers just to make her number one, this is collusion, man. These people out here just trying to make money. And they're using our girl here, RayGun, as as a proxy for them to get their cash, man. So hey man, it's whatever, but there's no way I'm buying any of this legit. I'm not buying this WD-40 place. And I'm not buying the Olympics. I'm not buying NBC. I'm not buying anybody for rolling this lady out there and embarrassing the world. She didn't just embarrass Australia. She just didn't embarrass breakers. She embarrassed the world with that performance. So I still got the over on her participating in Super Bowl commercials. I'm leaning more towards car insurance. And whenever I see her in there, I am gonna get a good laugh. But to me, I think this lady is all publicity, man, in the sense that they're using her for it. So good job, WD-40, man. That was a slick play, man. Slick play.
Yeah, shouts out to Dylas Lewis on the track, in the chat. He said this is bait. Which
Bait.
world she in? Yeah, I feel it, man.
It's rage bait.
Yeah, it is, and it just the way that we've just lowered standards across the board for everything, to me, is just, it's a joke, man, and we wonder why we're in the state that we're in. People want to get paid the most to do the least, and people want to pay out the least but get the most, and no one wants to actually do their job anymore. This is silly. Like, such low expectations that you have to create a rating system that is based on eliminating a period where one's performance should be the most impactful.
Agreed.
That, to me, doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's a good one, man. You got me. I wonder if there are prop bets on that. On RayGun commercial appearances.
Hey man, there's all kind of things out there. There's all kind of things.
I gotta check that out. If there are prop bets on RayGun Super Bowls, I'm gonna look into that, because
dude.
Man, yeah, I could definitely see her in a Progressive or a State Farm for sure.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. What that boy name? Damn,
Jake from State Farm. Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm, man. I mean, that's a power combo. Make it happen, y'all. I'm waiting.
Oh God, do your job, people.